Everybody, with John Walk, Jeff Reinhardt here, LL Sports Update, Week 7 of LL Football. A lot going on in the show this week. We're also, Tim Gross is going to drop by and talk about all LL fall sports. We're getting into October here, getting into playoffs. There's a lot cooking, but we'll start with LL Football. LNP Game of the Week fan poll. Thank you for voting. Our Game of the Week will be McCaskey at Hempfield. John and I will be over in Landisville to cover that Section 1 game, Black Knights against the Red Tornado. John, tell us about it.
Yeah, Hempfield, we saw them. Big win last week against Warwick. We said it, they went 2-1 non-conference play against three really tough teams. And then week 4 loss, 56-0 to Manheim Township. They've come back last 2 weeks now, 16-14 win over Penn Manor, 25-21 win over Warwick. Both come from behind efforts. Yeah. Both times Mark Himmelsbach leading a long drive down in the final minutes of the game to win it. So they got the Mo on their side for sure. Mo. I was out at practices at Hempfield McCaskey on Tuesday night. Caught up with Coach Zieber and basically just kind of going back, what happened to the 56-0 loss to Township? Well, we didn't know this, but Hempfield was apparently at some point without 7 starters due to injury throughout the year. Wow. Tight end Max Hoster is been out since week 2. Linebacker Joey Salaki is out for the year with a knee injury, and it's kind of just been a revolving door there as far as who's replacing him. Running back Steven Wenzel has been in and out of the lineup. However, Wenzel last week, 16 carries in that win against Warwick, his most carries since week 2. So things seem to be clicking for Hempfield on that end. However, they are giving up 350 yards per game. So you think McCaskey, hey, they do have a chance here. And talking to Coach Spencer on Tuesday night, it's just a matter for the Tornado to clean some things up. We know they were heavily penalized in the first few weeks. They've cleaned that up. However, he said, last week's loss, 30-something to 7 against Manheim Township. He said they left 21 points on the board just from drops, mental mistakes, penalties. So they're on that verge of if they clean things up and everything clicks, and they're a dangerous team. They can get down the field. They're starting to establish the run. They had 100-plus rushing yards on Friday night against Township. Only a third time they've rushed 100-plus in a game this season. So if you think they can clean some things up, they are dangerous. And Coach Zieber said he is worried about that. Again, we stopped out at both practices. LMP reporter Irene Snyder chatted with Coach Zieber and Coach Spencer, and we'll throw it to Irene for those interviews.
So, Coach, the last couple games were pretty close. You came up from behind. What was that like? What was going through your mind in those moments?
Well, I was just proud. The guys just kept after it. There's a lot of times when you're down in the game, it's very easy to just kind of roll over and think you're not going to win. But they've never had that attitude. They make sure that they just keep plugging away. And this past week, it was a 98-yard drive. We don't see a lot of those in high school, but the guys put it together. We even had a penalty that set us back behind the chains, and they overcame that and did a great job.
Right now you're 1-5, but you've also played a lot of really tough teams. So what is the mindset of the team right now at this point?
They've done a great job going out each week, preparing each week for the next opponent, trying to get better at the little things in our offense and our defense, and just trying to build as the year goes on.
And then what is your game plan for Friday? How are you going to beat the other team?
Well, we're looking to go out defensively and just continue to do what we've been doing, make sure that we understand our keys and our reads and our secondaries in the right spot to come downhill and make some plays. And offensively, we're just looking to hopefully control the line of scrimmage and try to be well balanced on offense so we can run and pass and try to keep them guessing what we're going to do each play and try to spread them out a little bit and hit the seams and use our speed as much as possible.
Thank you, Irene, for those interviews. Jeff, we have another big game in Lancaster-Lebanon League Section 1. Manheim Township is traveling to Warwick on Friday night. Tell us about that one.
Trap game, I believe, is what they're called. Manheim Township cannot get caught looking ahead here. Streaks have Wilson next week in Week 8 at home. That's the game we've had circled since probably last November. Quite frankly, Township was our pick back in August to win the section. So Township's been playing great. Grayson Saladay was a player of the week a couple weeks back. Just really caught fire here running the ball. Township's defense has been really stingy. They're tops in Section 1 in team defense. They've been really good on that side of the ball. They're just playing great. They have completely flushed the Governor Mifflin game, found their groove. Streaks have been awesome. Warwick looking to bounce back, as you mentioned last week. Led Hempfield at half, came out in the second half, goose egg, no points, which is rare for Warwick because they've scored in the 60s a couple of times this year. Adam Ricketts has been just fine, stepping in a quarterback for Grayson Klein. The rushing attack got hot a week ago against Lebanon. Everything seems to be going great for Warwick, and then boom, Hempfield comes back and wins. Like you said, Himmelsbach's been great leading these last-minute drives here in the fourth quarter. So stinger loss for Warwick, which is kind of dangling now because, what are they, a couple back in the section? Close for a district spot? I don't know. So looking for Township not to look ahead with Wilson next week, and we're looking for Warwick to bounce back. Fun game. Warwick won last year on a Hail Mary late, and that has not sat well with the Township folks for the last year. So a lot of motivation here for Township. That's a good Section 1 game. Big Section 3 game this week, really big. Lebanon County backyard rival game. Anvil-Cleona goes to Northern Lebanon. That should be a good one.
Right, Anvil-Cleona coming in at 5-2, Northern Lebanon at 5-1. Anvil is 2-1 in LL Section 3, Northern Lebanon 2-0 in LL Section 3. So Lancaster-Lebanon League Section 3 title implications on the line here by the time the season is all said and done. So, okay, Anvil-Cleona, we know that they love to pound the rock with that veer offense. Whenever the numbers last night, quarterback Noah Myers and fullback Caleb Turner, both at 600-plus yards, a combined 19 touchdowns. They are the top 2 rushers in LL Section 3 coming into this game. And, oh, by the way, a week ago, Northern Lebanon allowed nearly 300 yards of running to a heavily formidable Donegal running game. So I think Anvil-Cleona will be able to move the ball. However, on the other side, Anvil-Cleona defense, probably their toughest test yet since, I don't know, maybe that Trinity game in week 1. I say that because Northern Lebanon is very, it's well balanced. You saw them a couple weeks ago in that win against York Suburban on the road. And long story short, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair.
Could be.
Both of these teams need to win if they have any hopes of winning Section 3. Oh, and by the way, getting into districts because those slots are few and far between, and any win counts here. So that's going to be a big game to watch on Friday. Okay, we talked about football stuff. A lot is happening in Lancaster-Lebanon League fall sports across the entire platform as we head into either the final week of the regular season and or Lancaster-Lebanon League tournaments. To chat about all that, LNP sports reporter Tim Gross stopped by to recap everything. We throw it to Tim.
The Lancaster-Lebanon League crowned a pair of individual championships in girls tennis on Tuesday. In AAA, it was Hempfield's Amanda Higino. She defeated Manheim Township's Taylor Copan for the title. In AA, it was an all-Lancaster Catholic final as Isabel Midcap defeated Riley Smith for the crown. In boys soccer, there were section championships handed out this week. Hempfield won Section 1 crown. Lancaster Mennonite wrapped up the Section 3 crown. In Section 2, Ephrata and E-Town were heading into Wednesday's marquee matchup with still their section title hopes in live. In girls soccer, there were section champions crowned. Ephrata won the Section 2 title. Elko won it in Section 3. And Conestoga Valley had the inside track to the Section 1 title, but there was still a challenge from Manheim Township with games remaining on the slate. In field hockey, the section champions were crowned. It was Penn Manor in Section 1, Donegal in Section 2, and Anvil-Cleona in Section 3. Cross-country section champions were crowned this week. Hempfield wrapped up a Section 1 title in the boys. Cocalico took the boys' Section 2 title. In the girls' division, Manheim Township won the Section 1 title, and Lampeter-Strasburg won the Section 2 title. The cross-country runners are heading into Tuesday's Lancaster-Lebanon League championship meet. In golf, Lancaster-Lebanon League golfers competed in districts, and they are now heading into the PIAA regionals that are scheduled for Monday.
Okay, Tim, thanks for that. There's a lot going on in LL Sports. This is a great time of year. A couple more things to tell you about this week. First up, Football Player of the Week was Tanner Schwilk from Conestoga Valley, the quarterback. What a season he is having. Over 300 passing yards last week and a come-from-behind win over Lebanon. John got a chance to catch up with Tanner over at CV this week. Make sure you check Lancaster Online for that interview with Mr. Schwilk. Also this week, I was over at Lancaster Catholic practice. I'm going to write about their running backs this week for the feature. Catholic's playing great, 2 wins in a row, tied for first in Section 3. They've won their last 2 games by a combined 100-3. Crusaders are playing great, and their running game has been really awesome. Quincy Clark and Malcolm Lawrence. Double-barreled backfield action for the Crusaders. So got to practice this week and chatted with those guys. That'll be the feature for this week. Take a look for that. Last thing on our plate this week is a Glory Days. Thanks again for sending those in. What do we have this week?
Yeah, and thanks to Tina Byler for sending in these submissions a few weeks back. She's part of the Lampeter-Strasburg Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. And figured this would kind of be a good time. Every school does this at some point in the year. Lampeter-Strasburg inducted 4 new members to its LS Athletic Hall of Fame. And those new 4 members They were inducted last month in September, and we'd just like to feature them here. They are Katie Lynch, class of 2009. Katie earned 8 varsity letters across the sports of softball, basketball, and cheerleading. She earned all-section honors in basketball in 2008 and 2009, and all-state honors in softball from 2007 through 2009. Tracy Lynch, class of 2005. Tracy earned 10 varsity letters across the sports of softball, basketball, and cheerleading. She was a multi-team, all-section pick during her time as a Pioneer. Jeremy Hess, class of 2001. Jeremy earned 9 varsity letters across the sports of football, wrestling, and baseball, and was named a multi-time All-Star in wrestling and baseball. Finally, Meredith Chura Maher, class of 2006. She earned 11 varsity letters in the sports of cross country, basketball, and track and field. She was one of the top cross country runners in the LL League in 2004-2005. Oh, she also finished her basketball career with 1,079 points. And in track, she medaled 3 times at the District 3 meet. So congratulations to those 4 members of the 2017 LS Athletic Hall of Fame. Again, they were inducted last month. Again, if you guys have anything for the Glory Days submission, whether it be from a year ago, 5 years ago, 50 years ago, pop open a scrapbook, find a way to get us the picture, send it in to sports@lnpnews.com with your name, year, any other pertinent information on that photo, and we will feature it right here in the Glory Days segment. All right, week 7, it's a busy week in football, a busy week across LL League sports. Thanks to you guys for watching. He's Jeff Reinhart. I'm John Walk. We'll catch you next week.